Well, the good people at Fertilizer sent me a little package. So let's take a look at what's inside. We've got a little sanding sponge and some 400 grit paper. That's for going down the side of your neck and smoothing out those fret ends, just like this. And a nice little collection of 400 grit paper to wrap around that block. And here we've got a little fret leveler. I'll show you how this one works a bit later on because we're not going to need it on this neck. Ah, sweet deal. I need a new one of these. My one's a piece of crap. See? But this one from Fertilizer has got a nice handy little rule on it for measuring your action. So on one side it's in inches, other side it's in millimeters. It's nice and thick, good quality. I think this will be added to my toolbox and the other one can piss off. Now in here we've got the polishing block thingy. I don't really know what you'd call it, but the idea of this is you put your little fret protector on, then you got a range of different papers here. You fix that to the block with the rubber band and use the edge that's got like a crowning curve made into it. That way you can get a good polish across your frets. Looking forward to giving this a go. What I thought I'd do is do a little comparison. On this side we will do the steel wool, and on this side we'll do with the Fertilizer tool and see which one comes up better. Nothing like a little competition. Now let's start with the steel wool. This shit makes a mess, so already there is filings and crap all over my desk. You know what, I'm going to time each of these as well. Let's get a timer going, see which one's quicker. The biggest problem that I have with steel wool is the god-awful mess it makes. Now if you've got a guitar that's got a glued on neck, you've got to leave the body there, which means you have to tape up all of your pickups and bits and pieces where you don't want bits of filings to get in. You still run the risk of it getting into the magnets of your pickups and then shorting out your windings and things like that, so absolute pain in the bum. Also with steel wool it can be a bit of a pain because you've got to get your fingernails right into the edges. So a bit like you got to stick your fingernail in there and try and get around it to try and get the sides of the fret. Especially if your frets are oxidized, you know, you don't want just a shiny top, you want the whole thing to be nice and clean and shiny, so you really got to work this stuff in, and it's quite hard work. After a while your fingers get a bit sore. Then once you've done that you do have to still polish it because it's shiny but it's not quite glassy enough. So there's another step to go there. And just when you think you're finished, you've got all of this bloody mess to clean up. And that's only 2 frets, and look at it all. Everywhere. And imagine if you've got magnets near this, that's just gonna suck it up. So, like I said, I just hate this stuff. Anyway, let's get cleaned up. But I suppose we probably shouldn't be too harsh on it, so cleanup's cleanup, let's call it there. And what are we at? We're at around about 2 minutes. Alright, so with this Fertilizer I'm going to start with the 8000 and just see if I can polish these, because I haven't done any leveling on these. They don't need it, I just need to polish them, they're dirty. So let's go with the finest grade, see where we get with it. You can see the rubber band holds the paper on, and then you've got this little groove in the actual end of this that works almost like a crowning file, I guess, but it's just for polishing. So we use the little fret protector, little fretboard protector, give this a crack. It's pretty comfortable to hold on to, nice and light, doesn't put any strain on your hand. I'm not pushing down, I'm just using the block. And as you can see there, it's actually polished that up already. Are you kidding me? That's as good as the steel wool already. Let's do another one just to make sure I'm not seeing things. Bro, that's a pretty successful win for Fertilizer. Half the time and no crappy cleanup of steel wool everywhere. Now, just to be clear, this product was sent to me for free. Now, with that, they asked me to say a couple of things. But those couple of things are just to mention that the product's made in Germany. It's fast and easy to use. And the shipping in the EU is free. Outside of the EU, it's below €3. To the US, it's probably a little bit more. I'm not sure, you have to check that. To Australia, it costs a little bit more as well and takes around 2 weeks. The only other thing they ask you to do is to be honest and sincere with your review of their product, which I think is pretty fair. And to be quite honest, I'm done with this crap. This crap here can go in the bin. Good riddance. This product here is going to be making it into my toolkit. So, I mean, I guess that is enough, really, to tell you that it's a great product. Go check it out on their website. I'll leave the link in the description. Stick around because I'll show you how the fret leveling tool works shortly as well. So here's the way I'm going to use this product. So I like to tape my fingerboard up, and on a fingerboard that's oxidized and just needs to be polished, I'm going to use all 4 grits. So I think it goes 1500, 2400, 4000 and 8000, and I'm just going to work my way through those. It's super quick. You only need to give it a couple of passes, run down the board, go through all the grits, and by the time you're finished, you've got glassy, smooth frets. And, you know, playing with glassy, smooth frets means you got those super smooth, buttery bends. So why wouldn't you do this? It's not expensive. It's like, when you add it all up, it's maybe worth a couple of sets of strings, but you'll be able to use it every time you change strings. And if you've only got a couple of guitars, this will last you for a very long time. So get after it, guys. It's a damn good product, and I'll be buying some more of these micro mesh pads because I do a lot of these. And with this little foam block, I'm going to use the micro mesh pads as well to polish the ends of my frets, just to help round them over, take away any sharp edges. Pretty simple to use. You just wrap your paper in it and run it up and down the edge. If you're not using masking tape, just be careful of the finish on the side of your neck. You don't want to take it off, especially if you've got a maple neck. Best to tape it up with a maple neck. But makes them nice and smooth, rounds off any harsh edges. Perfect. So just something else to add here too, guys. This thing's super comfortable. I've done this whole fingerboard and my wrist feels fine. It's super comfy to hold on to. Yeah, what else can I say about it? Not much really. Now, this step's not necessary, but I like to polish my frets just because I like to go a little bit overboard. But honestly, after polishing these, there wasn't a huge difference between the finished Fertilizer fret and the polished fret. So you don't need to polish it. You can if you want to be a little bit crazy like I am. So I have this base neck which has a couple of uneven frets. I thought I might throw this in here and give you a look at the fret leveling tool. Now, if you know the Fret Kisser by another company, this is a similar kind of tool, except there's a couple of differences. One is that you use sandpaper and you just wrap that into the slightly indented area on it, just here. You wrap it around like that and hold onto it with your fingers, and does the exact same job. The other major difference is the cost of the tool. It is by far a cheaper option, but you get the same kind of result. So you just use this to level it out, and basically you keep sanding there until the friction goes away, and that means it's pretty much level. Then you can check it with your fret rocker, and then once you've done that, you use the polishing tool to shine it up again, and super quick, super easy. Great little tool for a fraction of a cost of the other branded item.